Anyways, hey babs, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. If it is your first time around my YouTube channel, welcome, so happy to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate that. So, babs, today we're going to be talking about problematic people. Excuse the British accent, sorry, I'm just really in love with the accent. I'm not trying to slander it, I'm sorry. So today we're just going to be talking about problematic people. So I was considering of making maybe a playlist where I talk about problematic people, called Problematic People. So today we're going to be talking about none other than Oli London. Yeah. So I actually also found this video when I was just minding my own business on YouTube, searching memes and watching Winx Club, until I come across this video on my, your homepage on YouTube, where I saw this video called "Can You Identify as Transracial? Would You Rather?" So there's just a lot going on when it comes to Oli London, but don't worry, I'm gonna try my best to debrief everything about this man's and to try to see what's really going on. Let me say. And without further ado, let us get into this. Or let us just get into this business. Let's begin. Now, who exactly is Oli London? So, Oli London, who was born on the 14th of January 1990, who is 32 years old, is a British internet personality, singer, and actor known for their transracial identity and for having had multiple ethnic plastic surgery procedures to make them look like the BTS singer Jimin since 2013. So basically, he is like a stan of BTS or Jimin, but to a whole nother level. So as I had checked, I think he had about 18 plastic surgeries to try and look like Jimin. 18 plastic surgeries. That is very concerning. Yeah, so obviously he really has tried to look like Jimin, and it is a very interesting topic about transracial, because honestly, if in my own personal opinion, I feel like you just cannot change your race. You just can't. Like, you cannot be Asian. You are not Asian, nor will you ever be Asian, Ollie, if you ever watch this. I just know. I'm really trying to be nice now, because I could pop off if I wanted to, but I don't. I decided not to choose violence today, so I have to keep to that promise I made this morning. But yeah, I just feel like he's low-key delusional in saying this, because I just don't think that you can change a race. I just know it's very. I feel to me, no. I just no. I don't believe that you can ever like change your race. Like, you are who you want to be. Like, listen, obviously, from the famous words of Barbie, be who you want to be, but this is taking it way too far now. Come on now. But yeah, as I said, I think now I just want to get into the video and just see what he says, because I did see a lot of talk about Oli London, and a lot of people were making fun of him. Like, I was literally going through a comment section about talking about Oli London. I see some people calling him olive oil. I see some people calling him oily lotion. Oily lotion. I know I shouldn't be laughing. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing, but it's just the creativity. Ooh, I swear, this generation is creative. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the video and see what he has to say.
Tell me how you racially identify.
I identify as Korean.
Okay, so now we're in a few seconds into the video, and I feel like it's not a very promising start, because we see in the video that he's having a conversation with this black woman, and he has cornrows in his hair. How absolutely Yeah, but let's just continue, I guess.
People didn't really get it. Not everybody will understand straight away, but I hope over time people will be kind of more accepting with me.
Transracial does not exist, and I think it is very, very harmful for us to push the narrative that it is possible to switch races.
Okay, so obviously now he's talking about how he is trying to bring about being transracial. And obviously he had done it in a tweet, also on Twitter. And honestly, I just think, no, babes, you can't, no. You can't change your race like changing a pair of shorts at the store. You can't. It's a very dangerous thing. It's actually very dangerous. And that is something that should not be normalized at all, honestly. Because, nah, I honestly just don't think you should change your race. No, no, I am not accepting transracial. It is being denied access. But I digress. Let's just continue on with the video.
I was not happy the way I was, so I went to Korea and I had the most incredible experience of my life. It changed me, gave me happiness, and people have no right to take that happiness away from me.
Okay, so now like you can see that Oli has mentioned how he's been very unhappy with his appearance throughout the years. So, okay, a part of me can try to I think I can somewhat see where he's kind of coming from. Because obviously, I think some of us try to change our looks just to look better to a certain degree. His is just far off the scale, but never mind that. Obviously, I think for me personally, in my time, I'm not gonna lie, there have been times where I've wanted to appear lighter in complexion because I think in this world, having lighter skin has always been associated with beauty. Like you're always deemed more beautiful or pretty if you have a lighter skin tone. And if you're dark skinned, then you're deemed ugly and rancid, putrid, absolutely vile, let me say. And sadly, that's just how it is in our society. And so I can understand as to why, but I just don't think this is just not the right way, Ollie. Like, no, you can't do that. There's another way. Listen, I'm okay with one just doing some minor changes to their looks, just to maybe feel a bit better about themselves. Like, I don't know, getting a new haircut or like getting a piercing or a tattoo. That's fine. But just changing your whole race is just, we're going very far off the scale now. Like, it's going too high in the sky, like a kite. Water in the stream. Okay, let me stop.
I can't sit up here and say, oh, I'm suddenly a white woman. And if you as a white person say, oh, I can be black or I can be Korean and I can't swap and benefit from the privilege that you benefit from, then it's clearly not an equal exchange. Because whiteness in this country has been set up in a way, how I interact in the police, how I interact with the medical system can result in me dying. Cultural appropriation essentially dictates people who are ethnic minority, whatever they do isn't really of value. You don't deserve to be associated with something that you've created because a white person has either renamed it or used it for their profit. And you are not a Korean man. No matter how much surgery you do, no matter how much of the aesthetic you adopt.
Nobody can take away what a minority group has been through, but I think when we do combine cultures, and millions of people now do almost adopt a lot of the Korean cultural aspects because through K-pop or K-drama they love it so much they then start adopting those, whether that's the hairstyle, whether that's the fashion style, whether they want to go and live in Korea. We all have the right to choose how we identify, to be who we want to be. I'm Korean, people need to accept that.
Okay, listen, now I can get that one can appreciate another's culture, style, slash fashion, food. Like I get there's a difference between like appreciating one's culture and really trying to like be in that culture. Like for me personally, I just feel like Ollie is forcefully trying to like be Korean. In a sense, let me try and rephrase that. Like he's just forcefully I don't know how to say it. Really? I swear, guys, load shedding just came in just now. I swear, ESCOM doesn't want us to be happy. They don't want us to be happy. It's okay, guys, I fixed it. But no, anyways, in a sense, yes, I do agree with what the woman is saying and how does seem very disrespectful. It is. And how it is like he's trying to go for clout and money. Now, personally, I was like very upset with this because it does really just disheartens me that he just dislikes himself this much to want to alter his appearance entirely to like a whole new race. And yes, it is disheartening that one feels like this, but I just feel like he should not be doing this. No. I know, and I'm really sorry for just the constant repetition of like, you can't change your race, you can't change your race, because I think it's just something I just really wanted to emphasize in this video, that you cannot change your race in any way, shape, or form, no matter how much cosmetic surgery you get, no matter how much you try to alter it, you just can't. No, you can't. And it is very like wrong and disrespectful. And I do apologize if I sound like a broken record, but that's just like, as I said, what I wanted to emphasize. And also to me, it also does seem like he's picking and choosing the cool parts of being Asian without actually having to face the struggles that Asians face, like hate. Like, I know I have seen that some Asians, they get hate for their appearance, mainly like their eyes, and also for the foods that they eat also. So it just feels wrong in a way that you're just trying to force yourself into this culture that you're not a part of, or into this culture that you're not a part of.
I think your skin colour has a lot to do with everything you're doing. I think we need to recognise that white supremacy is a global issue. What you are essentially saying is that you can change your race, and you can't change your race. And I think if you don't recognise that power imbalance in what you're doing and how it's disrespectful to me, you're just kind of proving the point that you're doing this for money and attention.
No, I agree with that. Every person that was, born Asian, they do go through these struggles. I understand what you're saying in terms of white privilege. I've never had that experience, but I am not one of those people. I am completely different, so I don't like to be put in the same category as someone like that. I understand some people might get offended by what I do, but I'm not actually going out there doing bad things. I'm not doing anything to hurt people. I'm just living my truth. I'm doing what makes me happy.
I know, like, in the video, he also mentions about he just is speaking his truth and doing what makes you feel happy. And, like, that is fine. Just, like, speaking your truth and doing what makes you feel happy. But I also feel is that you also have to be mindful about the impact that this could have on other people. Because this could also make other people think, oh, I could just change my race just like that. And you can't. I know, I've said it before, but you just can't. And that's why I just get really upset about Oli London. That's why I just do not like him at all.
So you identify as queer, right?
Non-binary.
Non-binary, okay, I'll recognize that.
Thank you.
So if you as a non-binary person are adopting the culture of a minority in a minority, because we know that the queer experience in Korea is,
It's very difficult. That's why I was speaking up, and actually I helped a lot of people by doing that.
What you are doing is really giving white savior, like it really is, because you seem to think that you can adopt the oppressions of minorities. What do you think you can do as someone who is so far removed from that experience? These people are fearing for their lives in the UK.
Do you think it's better for no one to say anything and speak up for these people? I'm speaking up for these people. I'm trying to help these people.
You center those who are affected. You don't center yourself. And that's my problem with you.
Boy, it's better than doing nothing. What do you do? What do you do to help people around the world?
You can't ask me that. You don't get to ask me whether I go to protest or what I do.
You're criticizing me for doing something which I'm actually helping a lot of people.
You think you're helping people by taking a picture? You don't get to question me, and I'm not even going to entertain that.
Well, you don't get to question me.
Yes, I do. Well, I just did, so what's up?
Well, why can't I question you?
Because I think you're not questioning me because you want to understand what I go through or what I'm doing. You're questioning me because you want to try and find a hole in what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't see how he's helping people. To me, it just seems like he is creating problems because, as I said before, what if, other people think like, oh, I could just change my race, right? No, you can't. You cannot. I swear. I'm really trying to keep myself together, but let's not pop off. Not yet. As I said before, I'm confused as to how he's helping these people. Babes, you're not helping anyone. In fact, you're not giving us help. No, sorry, you're not giving them any type of assistance. If anything, you're just making matters worse. Because I just feel that... Let me just calm down for a sec. Okay, I'm back. Now, obviously, I feel like a way to help minority groups is also trying to get people to be more open-minded, I don't see him trying to get people to be more open-minded to other POCs. Now, I just don't really see how Oli London is helping people. I honestly just see him creating mess and controversy. And I just don't believe that he's helping someone. And also, I just don't like how he says, well, it's better than doing nothing. Okay, I'd rather be doing nothing than literally stirring up controversies, telling people, oh yeah, you can just change your race, you know? Like, to me, it just feels like he's just trying to imply that it's fine, you can just change your race, you know? It's not a big deal when it actually is a big deal. It's a very big deal, actually. That's why I feel like he's just not really trying to acknowledge what the woman is trying to say. Like, she's trying to tell him, like, listen, like, what you're doing is wrong. You're literally telling people that you can change your race when you can't. And he's just, to me, I just feel like he's just deflecting what she's trying to say. And I just don't like that at all. Because I feel like for him, especially, he needs to realize that what he's doing is not okay in any way, shape, or form. Because obviously, in this world, white supremacy is at an all-time high also. So it is sad how in this world, what I've seen from my own personal view, I've seen like white people just thinking, not all white people, obviously, but I have seen a few people, mainly like white people, just doing whatever and thinking that it's okay. Acting like racial slurs, like saying racial slurs just like it's nothing, or like trying to act like a person of color like it's nothing, when it really is offensive. Like, I do feel that, I don't want to say all people, but let me just say racist people are just very ignorant, and they just don't really see the consequences of their actions. And I just feel like that's kind of like in the same case with Oli. Like, he doesn't realize that his actions are actually quite damaging and quite harmful also. But yeah, let's just try and just continue on. And yes, also, I do agree with what the woman is saying, also in the fact that, like, no, we have not really advanced in society, because obviously there is still racism in the world, and also hate towards people of color in the world also. And I honestly really don't know if it will ever go away. And I do think for someone to say, oh, racism doesn't exist anymore is very ignorant of the person to say, because they're not observant of what's going on around them. But on a side note, I'm just going to try and say something really quick. I have noticed that there's always been just a lot of animosity, let me say, obviously between people of color and also like white folks, let me say. Obviously, it's also because due to like past events that have occurred. And honestly, I really do hope in my heart that one day that maybe it won't be gone completely, but it can be minimized to it can be greatly minimized. I do hope. And that we can also just try to understand each other a lot more and not try to offend each other in any way, shape, or form, or just try and do better, let me say, as a society. Because I do feel like in today's day and age, I really thought we could be doing better, you know? Just try and be more open-minded of one's race, culture, etc. And just not discriminate someone just because of the way that they look, especially for their skin tone or color. It's not like they asked to be that skin tone, they just are. But personally, that's just how I feel. And also with me, I'm someone who does like to engage with Korean culture, as like what the woman said. I do agree, there are ways to engage in someone's culture without it being harmful in any way. With me, I do love Korean food. I do think their food is absolutely delicious. I want to try it so bad. And also their makeup and fashion is also very interesting, and I would also like to wear it. Let me be honest, the K-dramas, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, now we're just going to be moving on to the verdict.
Weird. I don't think he understands my lived experience. To me, transracial is not a real thing.
I respect people that have a different opinion, they might not agree with me. Nothing has changed, I still identify as transracial and Korean. I will always identify this way.
I am proud of how I stood my ground. Whatever excuse Oli came up with, I was able to dismantle it, and I think that's very important.
So now, So now that we've just watched the verdict, so obviously Oli London still is standing by what he says, and still, I just don't think you're not Asian. You're not Asian. You're not Korean. You're not Korean. You're not Korean. Like, you're not. You are not Korean, nor will you ever be. Oli London, please. You're a British man. You're a British man. I do wonder, like, I wonder how his parents feel about this. Like, honestly, if Oli London was my child, disappointment would be an understatement. I just would be, ooh, but let me just not. And yes, I did like how the woman in the video just basically dismantled, as she had said, like every statement they had tried to say. But one thing that I noticed in this video, I just feel like he was just really trying to deflect what she was trying to say. As I said earlier before, like he was just like very dismissive, let me say, of like what she's trying to say. Like, this is wrong, you shouldn't be doing this, and you should not, you know? But I just don't think he's gonna stop, unfortunately, and he's probably just going to continue on. And right now we have reached to the end of the video. So if you watched up until the end, thank you so much. Why don't you just give me, a like? I mean, you're already here, so you may as well. And if you could, you could maybe even be also kind enough to give me a subscription if you could. Hey, I'm not forcing you. It's your choice, Just saying. And if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, as I said. And also, sorry for not being able to post a little bit, but you know what? In an attempt to make things a slightly more lighthearted, let's go on a BuzzFeed. Let me do a BuzzFeed quiz, because I'm actually quite upset. So I'm just going to do a BuzzFeed quiz, hey? The world is decaying, and I don't like with what the world has come to. It is not good, and I'm not a fan. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and stay safe. Bye.